The voice behind the scrap pile. The human lived at the far edge of the mining colony, where the lights were weak and the air felt colder. No one liked that place. Machines broke there more often, and strange sounds echoed through the metal walls at night. That was why he chose it. He was a mechanic, a quiet one. Every day, he fixed old machines that no one else wanted to touch. Broken loaders, dead drones, rusted doors from ships long forgotten. He did not ask questions. He did not talk much. He worked, ate, and slept. That was his life. He liked it that way. On this night, the moon above the colony was large and pale. Its light reflected off scrap metal stacked high near his small workshop. The air was still, too still. The human finished his meal late. Just a simple plate, dry protein, old vegetables, nothing special. When he was done, he gathered the leftovers like always. He did not waste food. Still, some scraps could not be saved. He wrapped them and stepped outside. The cold hit his face. The scrap pile stood a few meters away, tall and dark, full of broken metal and shadows. He walked toward it, boots crunching softly. That was when he heard the voice. Small, weak. Excuse me. The human stopped. His hand tightened around the food packet. No one lived near him. No one ever came here at night. He turned slowly. Please, the voice said again. We can eat your leftovers. His heart skipped. That was not a machine. That was not a radio. That was a voice. A child's voice. The human did not move. His mind raced. The colony had rules. Aliens were not allowed inside without permission. Smugglers sometimes used children to distract people. Traps were common on the edge colonies. Who's there? He asked. His voice sounded calm, but his body was tense. From behind the scrap pile, something moved. Then he saw them. 3 small shapes stepped into the moonlight. They were no taller than his knee. Thin bodies. Small wings folded tightly against their backs. Their scales were dull, not shiny like the story said. Their eyes were large and bright, filled with fear and hope at the same time. Baby dragons. The human froze. Everyone knew dragons. Or at least, everyone thought they did. Dragons were dangerous. Dragons burned cities. Dragons killed without mercy. That was what the galaxy said. That was what humans were taught since childhood. But these were not monsters. They were shaking. One of them took a small step forward and lowered its head. We are sorry, it said. We are very hungry. The human swallowed. His instincts screamed at him to run, but his feet did not move. Where's your nest? He asked slowly. The baby dragon looked back toward the scrap pile. The metal behind them shifted. A deep sound followed. Low, heavy, like stone grinding against stone. The ground vibrated. The human's breath caught in his chest. A massive shadow rose behind the scrap pile. Then she appeared. The dragon mother stepped into the light. She was enormous. Her wings were folded, but even like that, they were torn and burned at the edges. Dark blood ran along her side, dripping onto the metal below. One eye was half closed, swollen and red. She was injured, but still powerful. Her head lowered until one eye locked onto the human. That eye burned with warning. The message was clear. One move, and he would die. The baby dragons rushed back to her, pressing against her chest. Please, one of them cried. He has food. The mother growled softly. Not in anger, in fear. The human raised his empty hand slowly, showing he held no weapon. His other hand still held the food packet. I'm not here to hurt you, he said. The dragon mother did not respond. Her tail shifted slightly, scraping metal. The human knelt down. Carefully, he placed the food on the ground between them and pushed it forward. Then he backed away. The baby dragons stared at the food, then at their mother. She hesitated. Every second felt like a year. Finally, she lowered her head and gave a quiet sound. Permission. The smallest hatchling rushed forward and tore open the packet. The others followed, eating quickly but neatly. They made small, happy sounds as they ate. The human watched in silence. He noticed how thin they were, how weak the mother looked. These dragons were not invaders. They were survivors. The mother never took her eyes off him. The human stood there under the moonlight, surrounded by scrap metal, baby dragons eating his leftovers, and a wounded creature powerful enough to end his life in seconds. And he understood something important. This night was not an accident. This night would change everything. The mother who was ready to kill. The dragon mother did not relax. Not even for 1 second. Her body stayed low to the ground, wings half spread, ready to strike. Her wounded side burned with pain, but she ignored it. Pain meant nothing when her children were close to danger. I never left the human. He stood still, hands open, breathing slow. He could feel her power in the air. It pressed down on him like heavy metal. One wrong step would be his last. The baby dragons ate quietly. They did not fight over the food. They were too hungry for that. Every bite mattered. The mother watched them, then slowly looked back at the human. Her growl was low and deep. A warning. The human understood. He did not move closer. He did not speak. Minutes passed. The wind moved through the scrap pile, making metal whisper against metal. Somewhere far away, colony lights flickered. This place was forgotten by most, but not by danger. The mother shifted her weight. Blood dripped from her side again. The human noticed. "You're hurt," he said softly. Her head snapped toward him. Teeth showed. Large. Sharp. Close enough to end him. The babies cried out in fear. "Mother, please," one of them said. "He gave us food." The mother hesitated. She had seen humans before. They hunted dragons. They sold scales. They killed hatchlings to send a message. Humans were not kind. Yet this one had not run. He had not called guards. He had not raised a weapon. Still, she did not trust him. Slowly, painfully, she lowered herself to the ground, placing her body between the human and her children. Her wings wrapped around them like a shield. The human took one careful step back. "I live here," he said. "No one else comes." That was true. The mother listened. She smelled no lies. Only old metal, oil, cold air, and loneliness. Her growl faded into a low rumble. The baby dragons finished eating and looked up at her, eyes shining. "Thank you," one of them said to the human. The words hit harder than any threat. The human nodded once. Then, an alarm beeped softly from his wrist unit. His face changed. The mother noticed immediately. He turned it off quickly, but it was too late. Her head lifted. Her body tensed. "Threat. Scanners," the human said. "Long range." Her eyes narrowed. She felt it too now. A vibration in the air. Engines far away. Not dragon engines. Human ships. Hunters. Her breath turned hot. Smoke curled from her nostrils. She tried to stand. Pain exploded through her side. She stumbled. The human reacted without thinking. He rushed forward and caught one of her wings to stop her from falling. The mother roared, a roar that shook the scrap pile and echoed across the colony edge. The human was thrown backward, crashing into metal. His head rang. His vision blurred. The baby dragon screamed. The mother stood over him, fury burning in her eyes. He had touched her. That was unforgivable. She raised her claw. The human looked up at her, blood on his face, heart pounding. He did not beg. "If they find you," he said quickly, "they will kill your children." Her claw froze in the air. The words cut through her rage. He pushed himself up, ignoring the pain. "My place," he continued. "Underground storage. Shielded. Old. No scans." She searched his mind through his eyes. Fear. Pain. But no lies. The ships were closer now. The baby dragons pressed against her, crying softly. She made a choice. The mother lowered her claw. She gave a short, sharp sound. The babies ran toward the human. He did not hesitate. "Follow me," he said. He turned and ran. The mother limped after him, every step painful, every breath heavy. Her wings dragged along the ground. Her blood marked the path. They reached the workshop. The human opened a hidden panel behind a stack of broken machines. A lift descended into darkness. He stepped in first. Trust. The mother followed. The lift closed just as lights swept across the scrap pile above. Voices echoed. Scans show movement. Check the area. The lift went down. Deep. When it stopped, the space opened into an old storage bay. Thick walls, dead tech forgotten by time. Safe. For now. The mother collapsed, exhausted. The babies gathered around her. The human stood there, chest rising fast. He had just hidden dragons. Not small ones. Not harmless ones. Dragons that the galaxy feared. Above them, The hunters searched. Below them, silence waited. And the human realized something terrifying. If the colony found out, they would not forgive him. The secret beneath the metal. The underground room was silent. Too silent. The old lights flickered once, then stayed dim. Thick metal walls blocked all signals. No scanners. No outside noise. Just cold air and the sound of breathing. The dragon mother lay on the floor, barely moving. Her chest rose and fell slowly. Blood had dried along her side, dark and cracked. The baby dragons huddled close to her. They watched the human. They did not cry now. They did not run. They simply watched. The human moved slowly, careful not to scare them. He pulled a medical kit from an old locker. It was not made for dragons. It was barely good enough for humans. Still, it was all he had. He knelt near the mother, but not too close. "You're safe here," he said quietly. The mother opened one eye. It was sharp, tired, still dangerous. He did not touch her. Instead, he opened the kit and pushed it toward her with his foot. Bandages, pain suppressors, seal foam. She understood. One of the baby dragons crawled forward and sniffed the kit. Then it looked back at its mother and made a soft sound. The mother hesitated. Then she nudged the kit closer to the human. Permission. He worked carefully. He cleaned the wound first. The seal foam hissed as it covered torn scales. The mother flinched but did not attack. Her jaw clenched. Smoke escaped her mouth in thin lines. Pain, but she stayed still. The baby dragons watched every move. When he finished, he stepped back. The mother breathed out slowly. The worst bleeding stopped. Minutes passed. The human leaned against a wall, exhausted. His hands shook. His head still hurt from the impact earlier. Above them, heavy footsteps echoed faintly through the metal. Search teams. The baby dragons froze. Lights passed overhead, seen only as shadows through the ceiling seams. "Nothing here," a voice said above. "Just old junk." The human held his breath. The mother closed her eye again. The footsteps moved away. Silence returned. Slowly, the baby dragons relaxed. One of them walked toward the human. It was the middle one, slightly bigger than the others. Its wings had small tears, badly healed. It stopped in front of him. "You are bleeding," it said. The human looked down. Blood had dried along his forehead. "It's nothing," he said. The dragon tilted its head. That was a lie. It reached out and touched his arm with its small claw. Warm. Real. The human stiffened. The mother's eye opened again, but she did not attack. She watched. The baby dragon made a small sound and pulled away. Then it did something unexpected. It sat beside the human. The human did not move. The two smaller hatchlings followed and sat near him too, pressing against his side. They were warm. Very warm. He realized they were afraid. Just like him. Hours passed. The old storage bay felt smaller as time went on. The human checked his scanner. Multiple alerts. Internal colony message. Unauthorized movement detected. Report suspicious activity. They were still searching. The human looked at the mother. "If they find you," he said, "they'll call the fleet." The mother understood. Her kind did not get captured. They got killed. Or worse. She tried to stand. Her legs shook. She fell again. The baby dragons cried out. The human moved without thinking. He supported her side with his shoulder. This time, she did not push him away. She leaned on him. Heavy, warm, alive. That was when the door alarm blinked. The human's blood turned cold. Someone had opened the workshop door above. Footsteps. Close. Very close. The baby dragons hid behind their mother. The mother gathered fire in her chest. One blast would kill the intruder, but it would expose them. The human stepped forward. "No," he whispered. He pressed a control panel on the wall. The lights died. Total darkness. The footsteps stopped. "What was that?" a voice said above. "Power glitch," another replied. The human held his breath. A scanning beam passed briefly over the hidden panel, but did not lock. The men left. The human slowly turned the lights back on. The mother released the fire she had gathered. The room warmed again. She looked at him, really looked at him. Then she did something no dragon was supposed to do. She lowered her head, not in threat, in acknowledgement. The human felt it then. This was no longer about hiding. This was about choice. He had chosen them, and the galaxy would not forgive that. Above them, the colony returned to normal. Below them, something new was forming. A bond, one built in fear, and trust, and blood, and that bond would soon be tested. When the colony started to watch him, the next morning felt wrong. The human noticed it the moment he stepped outside his workshop. Too quiet. The colony was never truly silent. Machines hummed. Workers shouted. Ships lifted off. But now, everything felt controlled. Watched. He walked toward the central repair bay like any normal day. People looked at him. They usually did not. Some looked away quickly. Others stared too long. Someone was talking. The human kept his head down and continued walking. Above him, drones moved slowly through the air. Security drones. New ones. He had not seen them here before. That was bad. In the underground bay, the dragon mother listened. Her senses reached far beyond metal walls. She felt the change in the air, the tension, the fear. The baby dragon stayed close to her. "They are looking," she said quietly. The human nodded. "They always look," he replied. "Now they are searching." He checked the seals again. The hidden lift was masked. The power level stayed low. No heat spikes. No sound leaks. Still, it would not last forever. In the colony command center, the leader watched a screen. "This mechanic," she said, pointing. "He lives alone. No visitors. Edge sector." Another officer nodded. "Scans show unusual power use near his workshop last night." "Animals?" one asked. "No," the officer replied. "Something large." Orders were given. Observation only. For now, back in the underground bay, the human brought water and nutrient paste. The baby dragons tried it, made unhappy sounds, then laughed in small chirps. For the first time, the human smiled. The mother watched him. "Why?" she asked. He paused. "Because someone once helped me," he said, "when no one else did." That was all. The mother did not push further. Hours later, the human returned to the surface to work. He had to look normal. Too normal. A fellow mechanic approached him. "You hear about the security alert?" the man asked. "No," the human replied. "They say something big moved near the scrap zone. Maybe smugglers. Maybe worse." The human shrugged. "Scrap moves all the time." The man studied him, then smiled. "Yeah, guess so." But his eyes were cold. That night, the baby dragons slept curled against their mother. The human sat awake, listening to the walls. Then he heard it. A faint sound. Metal scraping. Not inside. Above. He checked the hidden cameras. Someone was in his workshop. 3 figures. Security. The human's heart pounded. They moved carefully, scanning walls, floors, scrap stacks. One stopped near the hidden panel. The mother rose slowly, pain flashing through her body. Fire gathered in her chest. "If they open it," she whispered, "I will burn them." "No," the human said. He ran. Up the lift. Quiet. Fast. He reached the workshop just as the panel began to slide open. "Stop," he shouted. The guards turned, weapons raised. "This area is restricted," one said. "It's my workshop," the human replied. "You don't have clearance." "Power spikes detected," another guard said. "We're coming in." The human stepped in front of the panel. "You go through me," he said. The guards hesitated. No one expected resistance from a quiet mechanic. That moment saved him. The colony leader's voice came through the comm. "Stand down," she ordered. "Observation only." The guards backed away, eyes narrow. "We'll be back," one said quietly. When they left, the human leaned against the wall, shaking. Below, the mother listened. She felt his fear and his strength. "You risk death for us," she said when he returned. "Yes," he answered. "Why?" "Because it's already too late," he said. "They're watching. If I step away now, they'll find you." Silence followed. Then the mother spoke words that changed everything. "You should know who I am." The human looked at her. "I am not just a mother," she said. "I'm a guardian. My bloodline is hunted. My children are valuable." The human understood. This was bigger than a colony. Bigger than him. "You can still leave," she said. "I will not blame you." The human looked at the baby dragons. One of them woke and smiled at him. He shook his head. "No," he said. "I started this. I'll finish it." Above them, the colony marked him as suspicious. Beyond the stars, forces already moved, and the human had no idea. Someone inside the colony had already sold his name. The name that was sold. The signal went out at dawn. Not loud, not public, just one quiet transmission sent from the colony. A name, a location. The human did not know yet, but the dragon mother felt it. Her body stiffened as if lightning ran through her blood. Ancient instincts screamed danger. The air itself felt wrong. They know, she said. The human looked up from the console. Who? Those who hunt my kind, she replied. Not humans. Worse. The baby dragon stirred, sensing fear in her voice. The human checked his systems. Long-range traffic lit up his screen. Ships far beyond the colony's normal paths. Their engines were cold. Military grade. Not pirates. Not traders. Collectors. The human swallowed. In the colony center, alarms did not sound. No warnings were given. That was intentional. Panic would ruin the deal. The colony leader watched the data in silence. They're early, an officer said. Good, she replied. Less time for mistakes. Back underground, the mother forced herself to stand. Pain tore through her side, but she ignored it. They will take my children, she said. Alive if possible, broken if needed. The human clenched his fists. How long? He asked. Hours, she replied. Maybe less. He looked around the bay. Old walls. Dead machines. Not a fortress. We can run, he said. She shook her head. They will follow. One of the baby dragons stepped forward. Why do they want us? It asked. The mother closed her eyes. Because you're not just children, she said. You are keys. The human frowned. Keys to what? She opened her eyes and looked directly at him. Peace, she said. Or extinction. Before he could ask more, the underground sensor screamed. Multiple dropships entering atmosphere. Fast. Stealth. The human's blood went cold. Above ground, the sky burned. Ships cut through the clouds like knives. Black holes. No markings. They landed outside the colony perimeter. The colony leader gave the order. Seal the mechanics sector. Roadblocks rose. Power grids shifted. Escape routes vanished. The human felt it instantly. We're locked in, he said. The mother inhaled deeply. Fire rolled through her chest, not wild, not angry. Focused. Controlled. You should go, she said to him. They will not kill you. You are only bait. The human laughed once. Dry. Sharp. They already made me a target, he said. Might as well earn it. Explosions rocked the upper levels. Screams followed. The collectors moved fast. Too fast. The underground lights flickered. The baby dragons cried out. The mother stepped in front of them, wings spreading wide despite the pain. The human moved beside her. Two guards burst through the workshop door above. Gunfire echoed. The hidden panel began to melt. High-energy cutters. They're coming through, the human said. The mother growled. Stay behind me. No, he said. We stand together. The panel broke. Smoke filled the room. Figures dropped down, armored, masked, weapons glowing with anti-dragon tech. Target acquired, one said. The mother roared. Fire exploded from her mouth, controlled and deadly. The first collector turned to ash. The others fired. Energy slammed into her shields. She screamed but did not fall. The human grabbed a fallen weapon and fired back. He did not know how. He just aimed and hit. A collector went down. The others hesitated. That was the mistake. The baby dragons screamed together. Something answered. A pulse of energy rippled through the bay. Ancient, deep, powerful. The collectors staggered. The mother froze. Realization hit her like a blade. They're awakening, she whispered. The human stared at the hatchlings. They were glowing. Not fire. Not light. Something older. The collectors panicked. Abort, one shouted. Too late. The ground shook. Every dragon bloodline across the stars felt it. A call. A promise. A warning. The humans stood there, heart pounding, surrounded by fire, fear, and glowing children. Above them, the colony burned. Beyond them, the galaxy noticed, and the human finally understood. Those leftovers did not save hungry children. They started a war. When humanity had to choose, the signal spread faster than light. It did not use machines. It did not need words. Every dragon in the galaxy felt it in their blood. A pulse, a call, a scream, and a promise. Across distant systems, Ancient eyes opened. Sleeping wings stirred. In the burning colony, silence fell after the shockwave. Smoke hung in the underground bay. Broken armor lay scattered on the floor. The collectors who survived were frozen in fear, staring at the glowing hatchlings. The baby dragons no longer cried. They stood tall. Power moved around them like heat. The mother lowered her head in disbelief. "They have bonded," she whispered. "To you." The humans stared at the children. "I didn't do anything," he said. "That is why it worked," she replied. Above them, the colony was chaos. People ran. Alarm screamed. The lie that dragons were monsters shattered in seconds. Screens across the colony lit up with live feeds. A human standing beside a dragon mother, protecting her, bleeding, unarmed. The footage spread. Across ships, across stations, across worlds. Humans watched and remembered something old. The colony leader watched the feed in silence. "They should be killing each other," she said. "But they aren't," an officer replied. Orders came in from above. Contain. Suppress. Erase the footage. It was too late. In the underground bay, the mother turned to the human. "They will send more," she said. "Not just collectors. Fleets." He nodded. "I know." She studied him. "Humans fear what they do not control," she said. He smiled slightly. "So do dragons." She gave a low sound that might have been a laugh. The baby dragons moved closer to him. One touched his hand. Warm. The glow faded slowly. They were children again, but changed. Outside the colony, ships arrived. Not collectors. Human ships. Civilian. Defense. Old war vessels pulled from storage. They did not fire. They waited. Pilots watched the feeds. Saw the truth. Saw a human choose to stand. And they remembered old stories. Stories where humans did not kneel. They chose. A message came through on an open channel. "This is Captain Hale of the freighter Iron Will," a voice said. "You're not alone." Another followed. "Mining ship Dustrunner. We stand with the mechanic." More joined. Hundreds. The colony leader's hand shook. "This is mutiny," she whispered. "No," an officer replied. "This is humanity." Collectors' fleets moved closer. Dragon Space answered. The stars burned. Massive shapes appeared from hyperspace. Dragons. Not wild. Not raging. Organized. Focused. The mother felt them. Her wings trembled. "They came," she said. The human looked up through a cracked ceiling, seeing shadows pass across the sky. "They always do," he said. The collectors fired first. The humans answered. For the first time in history, human weapons and dragon fire moved together. Side by side, the underground shook as the battle began. The mother turned to the human. "You have done enough," she said. "If you stay, you will die." He shook his head. "I started as a mechanic," he said, "fixing broken things." He looked at the children. "At least let me finish that." The mother bowed her head. A dragon bow, a sign of equal. The colony fell that day, not to fire, but to truth. When the battle ended, the sky was quiet. Human ships floated beside dragons. No one fired. No one ran. The galaxy watched and understood something new. Humans were not pets, not prey, not tools. They were allies. The baby dragons looked at the human. "What happens now?" one asked. He thought for a moment. "Now," he said, "we build something better." Far away, old powers trembled, because kindness had become strength. And one human mechanic had changed the balance of the galaxy forever. The leftovers that changed the galaxy. The war did not end with an explosion. It ended with silence. Ships floated in space, broken but still. Fire faded. Weapons power down. Human vessels and dragon wings hovered side by side, unsure what to do next. For the first time in history, no one gave an order. They waited. On the surface of the ruined colony, the human mechanic stood among metal and ash. His workshop was gone. His machines were broken. His quiet life had ended. He felt tired, very tired. The dragon mother landed beside him, her wings folding slowly. Her wounds were healing now, glowing faintly with ancient energy. The baby dragons followed, staying close to his legs like children afraid to be alone. "You should hate us," she said. He looked at her, confused. "You lost everything," she continued. "Your home, your safety. Your future. He looked around at the broken colony, then at the sky. I never had much, he said. Just a place to work. One of the baby dragons tugged his sleeve. But you had us, it said. He smiled. Yes, he said softly. I did. Across the galaxy, councils met in panic. Humans and dragons spoke together for the first time without weapons between them. Lies were exposed. Records were opened. Old crimes came to light. The truth was simple. Dragons were not monsters. They were guardians, and humans have been used to hunt them. The galaxy changed its laws in one cycle. Collectors were outlawed. Dragon children were protected. Human colonies that helped the trade were judged. Some leaders fell. Others ran. The dragon mother stood before the human one last time. My children cannot stay, she said. He felt the words like a weight. I know, he replied. They are needed, she continued. Not as weapons, as symbols. She lowered her head. My life is bound to theirs, but yours is free. The human knelt in front of the baby dragons. They pressed their foreheads against his. Will we forget you? One asked. He swallowed. No, he said. You won't. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small metal tag. Old, scratched, from a broken machine. Keep this, he said. So, you remember where you started. With leftovers, another dragon said, smiling. Yes, he laughed. With leftovers. The dragon mother placed one massive claw gently on his shoulder. You are family, she said. Then she rose into the sky. The baby dragons followed, wings strong, eyes bright. The human watched until they were only stars. Years passed. Human-dragon colonies formed. Trade routes changed. Wars ended before they began. Stories spread, not of fire, but of a mechanic. Children across worlds heard the story before sleep. A human who lived alone, who heard hungry voices, who chose kindness. In one quiet outpost, the human lived again. Not alone this time. People came to learn, to build, to ask. He fixed machines again, but now he also fixed trust. Sometimes at night, shadows passed across the moon. Large wings, watching, protecting. And once a year, 3 dragons landed near his home. They were no longer small, but they still smiled the same way. They brought no gold, no power, just stories. And old food wrappers kept like treasures. The human would laugh and cook too much food, just in case. Because the galaxy learned a truth that day. It was not the strongest weapon, not the biggest fleet. That changed everything. It was a human who heard hungry children ask for leftovers and said yes.